Alrighty, well, it is once again time for a brand new season of No One Survived. But first things first, need to announce officially the winners from our previous giveaway, where we gave away 3 $25 Steam gift cards.
Hooray!
I hope I'm saying this right. Dulcie was one of our winners.
Yeah! Woo!
And Plum Girl was one of our winners.
Hooray!
And Bam's Babe was one of our winners.
Yeah, sweet dude, sweet.
Now I'm making assumptions, but I'm pretty sure those are all ladies. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are all ladies.
In a clean sweep.
I think what that really means is that the ladies took the time to actually sign up and go through the process of being in the drawing, and so they had a better chance of winning. But this time around, we have a lot more people playing for our $100 Steam gift card.
Can't win if you don't play.
All right, back to the game. So I've decided to start over with a brand new character from scratch. I've wiped out all my save games, wiped out my characters, because quite a bit's changed in this, and yeah, wanted to start over fresh. So obviously in any game like this where you create your own character, there's a ton of different things you can do. You know, you can change the nose and all that. That's all up to you. None of that really matters. Just how you want your person to look. You do need to enter a name. Mine's Frosty. I'm a dude. And then you got some general attributes, all that kind of stuff. But handle that any way you want. Make them look any way you want. What's really important is down here under profession. If you pick one of these, and you can just hover over them, actually don't hover. When you click it, it tells you what kind of benefits there are to starting with that type of character. This matters because, as you can see, you've got different points down here, and I think you have 20 to start with. I will be honest, I don't exactly know the difference here. I mean, it's just kind of what you start with. Me personally, I'm an explorer. I like to scavenge and scrounge, like loot, baby. So that's what I'm going to start with as far as my profession, since the profession I really want's not in here. Stop zooming in, you. But when you go to your attributes, then you can actually use these points that you've got. And for me, I think survivalist is probably a good way to go. Bodybuilder, fragile, strong skin. Yeah. Go through here, hover over it. It tells you, various bits of information. So select whatever you want. But what I really wanted to tell you is very, very important is actually the overall size of your dude. This guy's really thin, and that's going to make him quick, but he also can't carry a whole lot. This dude's really big. He can carry a whole lot, but he is not fast. And in this game, you've got several what they call sprinters. And so your points are changing. So your body type affects what kind of points you have left. But anyways, what I was saying, this game's got a lot of sprinters, and you don't want to be slow. Otherwise, you're going to have to fight off every single one of them instead of possibly being able to outrun them. At least put enough distance between you and them that you can actually fight them the way you want to. So tough, but not too tough. And I think that's probably a good size for me right there. So I'm going to finish creating my character, and then we'll go to the next step. So after you finish creating your player, single player, confirm that that's the dude you want to use, and new game. What are we going to call it? Frosty's new season. Sure. My recommendation, if you have never played this game before, is stick with beginner. You can pick whichever map you want. The way this story goes in this game, it sounds like you were with some other survivors and you eventually had to leave. But nobody goes out into the woods with nothing, including being naked. So me personally, I always use the starter kit because if I were part of a group and I was going out on my own, I'd load up with a backpack, tools, some food, whatever I needed. Keep the special zombies unless you want a better looting experience. So certain places like hotels and things of that nature will have a special that you have to deal with before you can actually loot it. Until you get used to the game, specials are really tough. I've played a couple of seasons of this now, so I'm going to leave them on this time. Zombie wave attack, basically hordes. I don't care for hordes. I think they're kind of pointless. Not to mention they find you no matter where you are. And how is that possible? I realize this is a game, but I kind of like a little bit of realism. not over the top realism, but a little bit of realism. And I'm pretty good surviving. And so I feel like if I wanted to, they wouldn't be able to find me if I knew they were coming every 7 days. So to me, it's kind of a pointless part of the game. I just skip it. Zombie strength, weak. It's not exactly weak. So I would leave it there if you are new to the game. Zombie spawn numbers, 0.5. It's basically a multiplier as to how many zombies will be in the world. 10% of your zombies will be sprinters. You can take that down to, I believe, 6. Me personally, again, I think after a little bit of time, zombies, created another new word. Zombies would not have the strength to sprint, depending on whatever made them zombies in the first place. So me personally, I think less sprinters is better because they would be pretty abnormal after this amount of time that's passed. So virus death rate, the amount of antibodies lost each time when infected, I just leave that. For me, my year duration is 40 and my day duration is 45. You can up that, and I wish they had day duration of 60. I don't know why it's 45 or double. That's kind of nuts. But year duration, this is how many days in between seasons. So 10 days between seasons is actually decent. You can get through several years of the game without a whole lot of real life hours put into it. So I kind of leave it there. I don't use permadeath because what's the point of a game if you're permanently dead? It'd be like playing Mario and only having one life and you couldn't get any more. So it's kind of stupid. Loot distribution abundant. Respawn interval every 20 days. I mean, personally, nothing's going to respawn. You may stumble across new stashes from other people in the world, but we don't really have other people in the world because we're not playing multiplayer. So I just leave it, but again, not really realistic. And then merchant restock. Yeah, you could see them actually restocking what they have because they're merchants and they're buying stuff from other people. So that makes sense. And then PvP, it's not multiplayer. So confirm. Let's get this biatch started. After a zombie outbreak, you sought refuge in a shelter for 3 years, but as resources dwindled, you were forced to leave and must now fend for yourself. So that's what I was talking about. In Scum, you're a prisoner, you're dropped out of an airplane, and you don't have anything except the clothes on your back. Makes sense. You're a prisoner being dropped onto a prison island. In this game, you were in a group for 3 years. You needed to go out. I would imagine whoever was left in the group split up whatever they had and went their own way. I mean, that's kind of how I look at this stuff. So starting with nothing is dumb. This is how I would go out into the world. A bow, a spear, a knife, and a gun if it was available. An axe for chopping crap down. Like, this is how you start if you're headed out from your group. You're not going out naked, which is your other option. So yeah. I can see over there that there's a trader. Lots of times, big open areas like this will have predators. So for me, I'm going to take out my pokey stick and I'm going to keep my eyes open for predators. Now, I am not running yet, and you kind of have to bear with me a little bit. I've been playing Scum to see if it's something I want to do a series on, and its controls are a little bit different. So controlling my guy may not be I may miss a few things and, push a wrong button type stuff. So let's see what this lady's got. I would like to barter with you. She has tires, which that's one of the things that's changed in the games now. You don't just find a car and slap some fuel in it and car repair kit. That's not how these work anymore. You got to find engines, tires, and I don't even know what else. So yeah, she's got suture kits, which we have a suture kit, and we also have an emergency surgical kit, which kind of the same, but yeah. Hemostatic powder, that's to stop bleeding, and St. John's wort for your mood. So yeah, that's a good thing. Got a couple cans of food, some water, some antibacterial gauze, bullets, some arrows, and a pot whenever we get a fire started. Antiviral serum, adrenaline, another can of food. Cool. She's got St. John's wort, warming agent condition, treats hypothermia and cold. I wonder if that's a real thing. I've never even heard of that. Like, you drink alcohol and kind of get a little warmth going back through your body, which I don't think is really what it's doing, but that's what I had heard. Antipyretic, treats heat stroke. Jesus. Seems like the devs are going for a little more complicated. And that's just, man, that annoys me. Complicated is not better. Anyways, we don't really have anything to trade right now. We need to do some more looting. But yeah, this is what our first trader has. Let's see what she can teach us. Can you teach me? She teaches medicine, which isn't a bad thing. It's just not always my top priority. So if you hit M, it'll bring up the map and it'll show you where you're at. Now I kind of like this area. There's another trader over this way. This area over here is almost actually, you know, it's probably pretty close to my favorite. You got traders pretty close by. You're not too far to get away from. You've got access to water, and there's some good looting possibilities through here. Plus, you're pretty close to the two big cities. So, to me, this is kind of a good spot over here, closer to this trader. Probably somewhere over here along the water. So, I think we'll head that way. And if we find anything along the way, we'll do some loot. So, I think we got a compass. How's that work? We just got an arrow that shows us what direction we're headed. So god dang it, man, I'm really pressing all the wrong buttons. So I think I need to go this way. What's the map say? Okay, so yeah, so my dude's in this pokey mode. Now he's in throwy mode. Now he's in standing mode. Okay, and now if he runs, he's back out of pokey mode. Okay, so you got that little blue bar wearing down. Once you get to 0, there's a couple ways you can handle it. You can lay down, which I'll show you that one for the people who have never played this. I'm getting tired. Such a wussy. So if you hold down I and you lay down, that bar will fill up faster. The only reason I don't like this is it fills up pretty quick while you're walking anyways. Gotta make sure you don't get pointed in the wrong direction. It fills up pretty quick while you're walking anyways, and at least you're still covering ground. So, 2 options, but it's kind of whatever floats your boat. I'll check the map while I'm running, make sure I'm still going in the right direction. That I am. So we know that trader we just came from has tires and an engine and a battery. That's pretty good. But she only had 3 tires. And you got to carry those in your backpack, I think. So, yeah. See, the bar fills up relatively fast, and at least this way you're still moving. I kind of prefer this way. But there are times where I'll lay down. But yeah, so anyways, we know that other trader has quite a few things we need for getting a car going. And since getting a car going isn't as easy as it used to be, that's definitely something you want to do because, take a look, this map's pretty damn big. It's a lot of quadrants, sectors, whatever you want to call them. So quite a lot. All right, bar's filled up, let's run. If I don't have anything important to say, like informational wise, during these running type sessions, I may just cut. See the water over there? That's kind of the direction I want to go. I may just cut out and, you know, you guys know the direction I'm headed. And shoot, do you really just want to watch me run and listen to me babble? Nah, I'll cut out boring stuff. Bar's almost full again. I do want to see what this other trader has, so I'm going to stop there first before I go to the location I want to build at, or at least make my camp. I will say it's a good idea to have a weapon in your hands. You will run faster, I believe, without a weapon in your hands, but it's kind of a good idea to have something in your hands because this game has been known to just throw a bear or some wolves at you out of the blue. And when you're coming up over hills like this, you really don't know what you're going to find. I will say this. I have a hard time shutting up during the running parts, but I will say this. I'm planning on making this season like long-term play. So kind of go through everything. Basically the farming and base building, all that kind of stuff. Like this is going to be a long-term season. We'll go through a lot. Oh shit. What the hell is that? What is that? Looks kind of like it's a giant friggin' like wild boar. Holy crap, I didn't even know those were a thing. Great, something else you gotta look out for because, at least in the real world, wild boars are assholes. and we'll beat the crap out of you. So yeah, that's why I said it's good to, you know, start with a weapon. If we were a little bit down the hill there, we would have run right into that guy and not even really seen it coming. And he probably would have handed us our ass. So until we get stronger, get better weapons, that kind of thing, yeah, just something to be on the lookout for. So I see the trader down that way. We're gonna make our way that way. But if you see these rocks here, this is essentially where you do your mining. And for a lot of different things that you're going to craft, you're going to need stones, and you're going to need to break those stones down into their base materials, say like iron, stuff like that. And so being relatively close to a place where you can get those stones is not a bad idea. So it's one of the reasons I like this place, because it's pretty centrally located. I actually, if you look off that way towards that city, right before you get to that city along the road there is kind of where I'm thinking I want to set up a base. And then we're close to stones, we're close to a trader, we're close to water. And those are all important things in this game. And jumping. Look at that. That was pretty sweet, yo. Hey, buddy. I would like to barter. Let's see what he's got. Ooh, he's got 4 tires and an engine and a battery. So, probiotics. What's this thing here? Glucose tablets. So basically sugar tablets. You could eat honey and have the same effect. Treats hypoglycemia. Okay. Yeah, I had heard this game was kind of trying to be more like Scum. And I believe in Scum, you got a lot of complex type things like this. And for me, it takes the fun out of the game. Games are supposed to be fun, not complex. If you want complex, you know, you should be playing like a simulator. And I don't consider games like this with zombies to be simulators. Although, who knows? I could be wrong, and it could be preparing me for the zombie apocalypse. So, yeah. That's what he's got. That's good. Let's see what he teaches. Weapons crafting. That could come in handy. All right, cool. So, got a farm down there. That's going to be good for certain tools. And like I said, we got our little personal mining field here. But I am headed pretty much directly north right now. So this is kind of the general area that I like. We just came from over there where the trader is, and you've got the field of stones and whatnot. You got a good supply of trees here for building your base. You got the water right there. Over the bridge, you can't really see it where we're at here, but there's a city over that way, which is pretty good. But there's this little set of houses right here, which is pretty good for loot. It just happens to have a lot of friggin' zombies in it. So it takes a little bit of work to clear it and loot it. And then over there, you've got a hotel where you can find a lot of clothes and backpacks and stuff like that. So I personally like this area. And if you look at the map, you can see got a city up here, got this little housing area that I was talking about. You got the motel. Over here is that farm. And then you got another city down here that's pretty easily accessible. And so is this little area, this little industrial complex. These are all pretty easily accessible once you get a vehicle. When you're on foot, it's good to be somewhere around here where you can get the loot you need, the resources you need to get your camp going and that kind of thing. If you decide you want to change camps, once you get a vehicle, go someplace else, ain't nothing wrong with that. But being centrally located to a lot of resources when you're just getting started is definitely the way to go. So, first things first, if we want to make this our base, let's switch over to our axe and whack down some of these little guys. Because we get sticks and we get, what do they call this? Stuff they call it, plant fibers. You need plant fibers and sticks to build your little cot. And I try to just put it out of the way over here under one of these stupid things, even though they tell you, hey, don't build near or under what's the word I'm looking for? High voltage power lines. But something tells me in the apocalypse, these won't be on anymore. So I got my build hammer out. You hit your middle mouse button, and that brings up the things you can build with your hammer. And I am looking for, technically it's furniture. So I'm looking for my straw mattress. So pick that guy, it's green. Hit it once with the hammer, hit F to add all your materials. Oh, I need 2 more plant fibers. So I got to switch back over to my axe. and give one of these little guys a whack. Let's start with you. Whack them. And then once you run back up on this, you don't have to have your build hammer active. And then you hit E. And we don't necessarily want to sleep right now. We want to set it as our respawn point. That way, if we die, we come back here. This game will spawn you randomly. And if we've set up our base here and we don't have a spawn point here, if we die and come back, it could stick us all the way over here. And it will take you probably hours to go from here to here in real life without any type of transportation. So yeah, make sure you set a spawn point. Not only that, you can set these up pretty much anywhere. So if we get a vehicle and we head over here to, say, the airport, we can set up one of these mattresses and make it our spawn point. And if we die in here, we come back to this point, make it easier to get our backpack and all of our resources. So that's how you use spawn points. But when you come back, let's say we loot this place, we set up a spawn point just in case we died. When you get back to your base, you need to come back to your original spawn point and make that your spawn point again. Because if you don't, if you're over here looting and you die, it's going to send you over here, but all your stuff is going to be back over here by your base. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're using different spawn points. And I opened the freaking backpack. An idiot. All right, we got a spawn point. We got a little bit of stuff. So let's bring up the knowledge tree or whatever the hell they call it. So this is our skills and conditioning. We've already started building because we've been running across the map, but these will all build kind of naturally on their own or when you read books. Technology, I would love if you could zoom out on this, but you can't. You have to hold down the button and kind of scroll around. But first thing it says that it wants you to build is a crafting table. And in order to build that, you need a log and 3 stones. So that means cutting down a tree and finding 3 stones. And once you get your crafting table, that starts opening up the different levels of the tree. Start making planks, which you're going to need for building all kinds of other stuff. Come down here. Your furnace. Definitely something you want to get going because you need to build clay in order to build a smelting furnace and like all kinds of stuff. So you definitely want to work on opening this tree. But find out what's important to you and head down that path first. If you want to get weapons built, then you need to head down this way. If you want to get a canteen built, which I highly suggest, learn the crafting table, learn the simple parts, and then learn your canteen. You find a lot of wire, at least you used to. You find a lot of toolboxes, or at least you used to. We got this iron box for storing your stuff. I hope there's still a regular box. Are there still wooden crates? I don't see wooden crates. I see a beehive. Got a loom and a sewing table. These are traps. You know what? I could be wrong on this, so let's escape out of there. I bet you don't have to learn how to build a wooden crate. So if we switch back over to our build hammer and we hit the middle button, yeah, you don't have to learn how to do that. It's already open. So getting one of these set up is a good idea, but you need planks and simple parts to build one. So we already know we can't build simple parts or planks until we get a workbench, and that was a log and 3 stones. So back to the axe. Sorry if my audio cuts out. I gotta look down at my keyboard sometimes. I don't always know where my keys are. Whack 'em. These trees will kill you. I'm speaking from a lot of experience. You see all that bouncing around it does? This game is set up so that if it's bouncing and hits you, it will wound the crap out of you. And if you're already a little wounded, it'll kill you. It's easier to whack these things if you crouch down with the C button. Picking them up is pretty cool. I guess I'll kind of show. Well, I'll show it in a minute because I don't have a place to put them until we get the bench going. So I'm going to pick up 1 log because we know we need 1 log. And then we're going to find some stones. You can run through the woods. I think I see one over there. Yep, there's my 3 right there, right? Yeah. Pick up. Pick up. Pick up. Now we can build a workbench. You can always break down your workbenches and stuff like that. The things that you craft, you can break them down and you get the resources back. So once you get the resources back, you can put it in a new location if you want to. But for right now, to kind of keep it out of the way, I think I will put it right here. And I'm in the wrong spot. We need to go in here. So we clicked it. Because we have the resources in our backpack, it's going to let us learn how to do it. But in order to do it now, come back to your build hammer and you go to workshop, and there it is. That just gave you the ability to know how to make it. Now you have to get 3 logs, 5 stones, and a toolbox. And the only way to get a toolbox is to either buy one from a trader or go looting. So we can get this started, which I will do. And just spin it around because I kind of want it like this. And that's where we want it. You right click to get out of that. And we have the logs. We can, there's some more stones over there. Now, if you notice, these weren't here the first time we went looking for stones. This happens all the time. Stuff like this is constantly spawning in when you have your back turned. So we know we needed 5. With these, you can actually just hit E and walk forward and keep hitting E and it'll pick them up. I got most of them, but I'm just going to have to drop them anyways. Now, if you cut the stump, I don't believe it grows back. It may grow back. I can't remember exactly, but if you cut the stump, you get 1 more log out of it. But yeah, so we're going to come over here and we're just going to add our stuff. So we added the 3 logs and 3 stones. We're still carrying all these logs, which you don't want because they add a lot of weight. So you can just grab them and drag them out, and they'll stay here for a little while until we find a toolbox and some more stones. We also have some sticks that we don't necessarily need, but let's open up our build hammer. And there's so much to teach in this game in the very beginning. Structures, workshop furniture, maybe. Yeah. So you have a log rack and you have a stick rack and you have a plank rack. These are all good things to have for storage for your various building projects. So I am going to do a log rack to start with. You need 15 sticks, which we don't have, but I think I will put this right here because you take your logs and you put them in the workbench. And then I think I will hit my middle mouse button again, and we get sticks, planks. I will put a plank rack, and I'll actually, it's going to give me a hard time. I'll put the plank rack right here. And we can add our sticks to this. And that added 6, which is what we had in our backpack. But yeah, as we find more sticks, we can build these things out. So those are definitely something important to have. Storage is a big deal in this game because you find a ton of loot and a ton of resources and you need a place to put them. If you leave them on the ground too long, they will eventually disappear. That is with everything you place on the ground. So yeah, if you look at our health, we need a little water. We need a little carbs. So these are your food. This is your overall health. Water, food. This is your mood. This is your fatigue. This is your hygiene. Zombies apparently smell you more if you're dirty. And then your antibodies, how well you're holding up as far as your immune system goes. So yeah, it's pretty easy to go over to the lake and clean up, but don't drink that water. It will make you sick. We need to find fresh water. Oh, we have fresh water. So because I'm down at 52, you actually lose resources while you sleep also. Not lose resources, but your physical health, your metabolism, it all keeps going while you're sleeping basically. So that can decline while you're in bed. Me personally, I think I'm gonna sleep on this first night, even though it's nice and clear and we can see really well. I'm going to try to get some shut-eye. We have a clock up there in the upper right corner that tells you what time it is, so you can decide, you know, how many hours you want to sleep. You got to re-engage the E. So I want to sleep, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to sleep, say, 10 hours. If you liked that episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.